Get the hell out of here.
Bienvenue dans Inside, l'émission qui fera ressurgir votre côté patriotique.
We say thank you.
5 ans après un premier opus critiqué malgré quelques qualités, Homefront revient en force sur nos consoles de salon et PC avec Homefront The Revolution. Nous sommes en 2029 et les Nord-Coréens ont envahi les États-Unis d'Amérique. Pour faire face à cette occupation, une résistance, ou plutôt une révolution, a vu le jour, provoquant attaques et attentats en tout genre. Vous êtes un jeune nouveau de la Révolution et votre mission est de combattre l'envahisseur coréen. A l'occasion de Paris Games Week, nous avons interviewé Charles James Kirchner, senior narrative designer chez Dambuster Studio, afin d'en apprendre plus sur ce FPS futuriste en monde ouvert. Alors pour commencer, on aimerait savoir si ce Homefront The Revolution est une suite directe du premier opus.
To answer your question on whether or not Homefront The Revolution is a sequel, it's actually not. There's a reason we don't call it Homefront 2, but Homefront The Revolution. When Dambuster acquired the rights to the Homefront IP, it presented an opportunity to reboot the entire universe, including the backstory, and so the studio now has the ability to put their own stamp on the game. Obviously, it's a new team from the first game, and it's a brand new style of gameplay. And so this is, again, really an opportunity to create something that is wholly unique to the studio, yet still feels familiar to those who know the Homefront idea. And that idea is really what attracts players and us as developers to the property. The idea of playing as a resistance fighter in an occupied America against the North Korean military. Now, it's also important to know that the North Koreans are not the North Koreans that we know from the news today. We've gone back in time and changed a number of key historical events. For example, what if the US hadn't landed on the moon, or what if the devices that we see people lining up for days early to get their hands on were made closer to Kaesong rather than Cupertino.
Nous avons cru comprendre que nous incarnons un soldat de la Révolution. Du coup, pouvez-vous nous en dire plus à propos du scénario et des différents modes de jeu proposés?
And those questions lead us to the point where the game begins. The player will be put in the boots of a resistance fighter named Ethan Brady as he and his cell attempt to retake Philadelphia from the occupational forces and inspire the people to rise up in revolution alongside them. And we've got a great single-player campaign with a lot of very high-action set-piece missions. We've got great side content. We've got an incredible environmental narrative. And additionally, we've got a 4-player cooperative multiplayer experience. So you and 3 of your friends can form your own resistance cell, create your own fighter, go out on missions that use the same tools and tactics that you'll use in the single-player campaign to accomplish your objectives, get new gear, come back, maybe change up your strategy, and then go out and do it again and become heroes of the revolution.
Vous étiez dans l'équipe du précédent Homefront. Pouvez-vous dans ce cas nous dire ce qu'apporte le monde ouvert à la licence?
One of the reasons that I came back when I had the opportunity, when Dambuster said, hey, would you be interested in working on Homefront The Revolution, is by taking the game open world, we're really able to leverage that fantasy of being a guerrilla fighter. When you're in a scripted corridor shooter, the only direction that you can move is forward. And so when you encounter a group of enemies, you have to kill everybody and then just keep pressing forward. But by making the game open world, what we can do is introduce a feeling of vulnerability for players. The game is difficult. It's at times crushingly hard. But by changing your mentality, by not approaching it like a typical first-person shooter, you can increase your effectiveness as a fighter and dramatically increase the amount of time that you spend surviving. So rather than engaging in a gunfight on the street, you see an enemy, maybe it's not the best idea to just immediately open fire. Take a look around you, find out where the best position to attack them from would be, or sometimes even not to engage in combat. Again, open world means that we've got so many pathways for players to navigate. When they see that patrol rolling down the road, if they know they've got an alleyway over to one side, they can jet down that and avoid combat altogether. Or perhaps they want to take a position in a second floor window, wait for the patrol to come by, and then ambush them.
Suite aux critiques du premier Homefront, les joueurs sont un peu craintifs avec l'arrivée de ce nouvel opus. Pour avoir également joué Homefront, nous avons été souvent confrontés à des bugs. Alors dans ce cas, pouvons-nous cette fois-ci attendre un jeu un peu plus optimisé?
I can gladly assure you that Homefront The Revolution will be as well optimized as we can make it by the time that it launches on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 in spring of 2016. And additionally, we'll have a multiplayer beta this winter, like that co-op mode that I mentioned before, so you and your friends can go out on those missions. You'll be able to play it for yourself at home, so you'll be able to try it for yourself beforehand.
Il est maintenant temps de faire une pause révolutionnaire pour passer au Test Inside spécial Kim Jong-un. Comme avec les Chuck Norris Facts, c'est au tour de Kim Jong-un. À vous de nous dire si les faits que nous allons vous raconter sont vrais ou faux. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti. Kim Jong-un cache la lune aux habitants de la Corée du Nord parce que les Américains y ont planté leur drapeau.
How do you hide the moon? That's impossible. It's hanging up there in the sky. Anybody who looks up will see it.
Kim Jong-un oblige les idoles de K-pop à avoir la même coupe de cheveux que lui.
I did hear that, but again, it's impossible to know whether it's true. What's interesting though is that he recently changed his haircut as well to look more like his grandfather, Kim Il-sung. Because if you look at the first photos of him, he had much more of a boyish sort of shaved on the side.
Et enfin, il y a maintenant 20 ans, Kim Jong-un a tué Chuck Norris et aujourd'hui, Kim Jong-un est Chuck Norris.
Poor Chuck Norris. Everybody wants to fight him. That's the problem with being the most dangerous man in show business, right? That may be true. I'll give you two interesting Kim Jong-un facts that I know. One of which was that the first Homefront was one of Kim Jong-un's favorite video games. And so, if he's watching, brilliant comrade, if you'd like, Homefront The Revolution has 4-player co-op. You, me, and maybe Dennis Rodman and one of your ministers, we can team up and go out on some missions. That would be cool.
Vous l'aurez compris, Homefront The Revolution a de grandes chances de s'imposer dans le monde des FPS avec son monde ouvert immersif. Deep Silver nous livre ici un jeu de guerre futuriste au background réaliste et au gameplay tout simplement alléchant. Préparez-vous donc à plonger au cœur de la révolution pour mettre un terme à cette occupation nord-coréenne. Sur ce, nous on retourne au front, libérer nos amis et on vous dit à une prochaine dans Inside.
La révolution n'a besoin que d'une étincelle. Mais quand les flammes s'élèveront, elles consumeront tout.